Hey friends, welcome to another Life Live lesson and into just a moment of receiving the goodness of God through the Psalms. I'm reading through the Bible in a year this year with Anna and with a dear friend. And as I read this psalm, a conversation from my men's life group, brothers that I walk with, band of brothers, came to mind. And our life group leader, uh, who has been an amazing spiritual mentor and disciple of me, Gary Davis, has been asking the same question the last couple of weeks. And it's an important one. And that is, what do you expect from God when you're going through suffering? What do you expect of Him? What do you center your focus on when there's suffering and it's prolonged? And I couldn't help but think of that question. And David answers it in such a helpful way that is so important for us in the midst of the suffering we face. He unlocks understanding to what we absolutely can expect of God and where we need to place our focus. And this has been something I've learned over and over and over from one adversity to the next. This resonates so deeply with my soul. It was too good not to share. So I wanted to take this moment and share from Psalm 77. It's actually not from David, it's a psalm of Asaph, but he paints a vivid picture, and maybe you relate. I cry aloud to God, and He will hear me. We can expect He hears us. In the day of my trouble, I seek the Lord. In the night, my hand is stretched out without wearying. My soul refuses to be comforted. When I remember God, I moan. When I meditate, my spirit faints. Selah. He's painting a vivid picture. The suffering anguish is deep. And then in verse 4, he says, You hold my eyelids open. I am so troubled that I cannot speak. Have you ever been so troubled you don't even know what to say anymore? It's a common experience throughout humanity. We all have those days, friends. We all go through things that leave us speechless in not a good way. And then he continues and says, I consider the days of old, the years long ago. I said, Let me remember my song in the night. See how he shifts his focus? He commands his attention to a song. Instead of focusing on the problem, he turns his attention to a song of worship to God. He says, let me meditate in my heart. Then my spirit made a diligent search. Will the Lord spurn forever and never again be favorable? Has his steadfast love forever ceased? Are his promises at an end for all time? Oh, these are powerful, vivid questions that, if we're honest, we ask in the midst of suffering. Like, where are you, God? Are you going to come through? What's going on? Have you remembered your promises? In verse 9, he continues, Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has he in anger shut up his compassion? Oof, Selah. And he makes a pivot here that's important. It's so important to be raw and honest within the suffering and expressing all the feelings like, God, where are you? Have you forgotten me? If your compassion failed. It says, he pivots in verse 10. Then I said, I will appeal to this, to the year of the right hand of God Most High. Verse 11 is a critical key marker. I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your wonders of old. He looks back not to see God failing him. He looks back to say, God, I'm going to remember your deeds of old. I'm going to remember what you've done, that you are faithful, that you have showed up, that you have always redeemed, you've restored, you've made beautiful out of the brokenness. He says in verse 12, I will ponder all your work and meditate on your mighty deeds. Your way, O God, is holy. What God is great like our God? You are a God who works wonders. Ah, yes, he does. Come on, stir up faith, works wonders. You have made known your might among the peoples. You with your arm redeemed your people, the children of Jacob and Joseph. Selah. He's recalling going all the way back to the deliverance of the children of Israel from the bondage in Egypt. And he's remembering, God, you deliver, you show up. You don't show up immediately, you don't show up on our timetable, but you show up right on time because that's who you are. You are a redeemer, you're a restorer, and you do wonders. Maybe you need to hear that today. Have you thought about the wonders he's done in your life? Have you pondered his deeds of old when he has moved in your life? Today, take some time in Selah. It literally means pause and meditate. Pause and meditate. Hit pause and remember his deeds of old, friends. Your spirit will be lifted, your heart liberated, and your spirit strengthened to forge forward in the battles you're facing. And he continues in the last section, verse 16, when the waters saw you, O God, when the waters saw you, they were afraid. He's invoking the Exodus as the waters parted and the children of Israel crossed on dry land. Indeed, the deep trembled, the clouds poured out water, and the skies gave forth thunder. Your arrows flashed on every side. The crash of your thunder was in the whirlwind. Your lightnings lighted up the world. The earth trembled and shook. Your way was through the sea. Your path was through the great waters, yet your footprints were unseen. Oh my goodness, friends, there's so much here. I love this psalm. This is a psalm of hope in the midst of suffering. This is a psalm of clarity in the midst of uncertainty. This is a psalm of hope in the midst of prolonged agony. Friends, his footsteps are unseen. God's footprints are unseen, but his fingerprints of what he's doing, the wonders and works, are all over, friends. As he parted the seas, all power is his. And I love the last verse. You led your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. He's invoking the imagery of them crossing through the Red Sea. And here's the image, friends. They're backed up against the sea after being delivered from Egypt. Pharaoh, his entire army is chasing them, and they're locked. They're locked by the water. They have nowhere to go. And they're thinking, okay, this is how it all ends. Maybe in your journey, you feel like you're right up against that sea. There's no way that you can see for things to work out. Here's the beautiful thing. God parted the sea. Your way, he says, is through the sea. Your path is through the great waters. What if the path is through the very thing you don't want to face? What if the path is through the suffering that you're resisting? Here's the path, friends. It's through, not avoiding, but going through. And here's the reality, friends, the beautiful reality in the New Testament, the New Covenant. The Holy Spirit is with us. We're not alone in this journey. We have his presence. He lives within every believer that has submitted to him as Lord and has been redeemed by his blood, friends. We have a helper. We have a comforter. We're not alone. The agony is great, just as he painted at the very beginning of this psalm. The trouble was too much that I couldn't even speak. And we hit a loss where, God, what's going on? But here's the key pivot. We turned to remember what he has done and what he has brought us through, who he is, and we turn our focus to him. Instead of the problem, we turn to the one who can lead us through whatever it is. He is greater than all of it. And this is why Jesus said, in the world, you will face tribulation, you will face trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. We have a king who is victorious, friends. As we enter closer weeks away from Easter and Resurrection Sunday, we're reminded the way isn't avoiding the cross. Jesus went to the cross. He didn't avoid it, he didn't bypass it. There had to be death for there to be resurrection. The same is true in our lives. No servant is above his master. If our King went to the cross and didn't avoid it, he pleaded, "Take this cup from me, but not my will, but your will be done." Our path too is through suffering. We're not exempt. He promised it would be hard. He promised trouble. But here's the thing, we take heart because he's overcome, and we look to what he has done. We look to what he is doing, and we seek his presence. Even when we don't feel him, he is working. As Waymaker, the song declares, even when I don't feel it, even when I don't see it, you're working. He is the Waymaker. His way is through it, friends, not around it. So we can expect God to show up. We can expect him to make a way where there is no way. We can expect him to bring the comfort we need and the renewed perspective. My friends, let's push into him. Instead of the problem, let's push into him and through it, not around it, not avoiding it, but through it, because he is with us and we have all that we need, as he is our radical redeemer, our comforter, and he is working and he will make a way. We can expect that he will as we look to him. Friends, until next time, onwards and upwards with grace and grace.